What's going on, Sign Dreamers? AJ Avila is here with Sign Dreamers Orange County, and we just got our mega frame. Congrats. And we're trying to figure out how to stake this, and I've been seeing people having troubles on how to go about doing this. I was actually inspired by Sign Dreamer Nikki Hodges on how to stake this most effectively. And I'm actually going to show how we did our mega numbers, because I don't think it's the most effective way, but it is a little easier. So right here, we put bolts, we put 4 of them down there, and we got the screws showing out. However, whenever we take these mega signs out, we got to take that giant stake, which is attached with it. So what Nikki did, I'll post a picture right here. So she put PVC pipe along the mega numbers. We didn't do that as you saw before. It was just bolted right in. So with the mega frame, instead of just bolting it in, we wanted to make sure we actually have a frame going over here so that if this bends or anything in the wind, it will stay safe. So this is how exactly we're gonna do ours right now. And I'll tell you what you need as well to get it done. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We get these PVC pipes right here. I believe they are 1 inch in diameter. You can buy them at Home Depot or Lowe's for roughly about, I think it was $10. We bought a 10-foot long, 1 inch diameter PVC pipe, as long with these adapters. They're super cheap. So what we're doing is actually creating the frame on here, just like that. So next what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna drill 2 holes into this side, 2 holes right here, and 2 holes on that side using a 1/4 inch drill bit. Next, what we have here, these are what actually is gonna be drilled into these PVC pipes and shown on the other side. So right here, this is a 2 inch 1/4 diameter screw. It is a metal sheet screw, so it's flat on that side. We also did get 2.5 inch screws, so we'll see how both of these play out. We have a total of 6 of them, because we're gonna have 2 here, 2 here, and then 2 up top. So now what I'm gonna do is measure the holes on where to drill in here to put the screws through. So if you actually flip over your sign, whether it is a congrats or a birthday frame, what you wanna actually do is to make sure that you're gonna be drilling it into the color that is going to be matching the color of the screw. So this is black, so we want to make sure we put it in the black side right here. Once that is done, we'll go ahead and just set this down on the black side, just like that, and we want it to be roughly around there. Right where the congrats is, that's where we will drill 1 here, 1 here, 1 around here, here, boom, boom, there. So let's go ahead and mark this right now. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the camera. Okay, so as we can see there, I made 6 total marks. 1 right here, 1 right there, 1 right there, there, and there. So now we know exactly where to drill to make sure we're accurate with our mega frame. Okay, now for the fun part. Time to start drilling. Now we would just want to make sure that we drilled enough to get the screw in it. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. Let's take off the drill bit and actually put in a screw right now. The 2 inch right here, 1/4 diameter. It's big enough that we just drilled using a 1/4 inch drill bit, and we're gonna put in a 1/4 inch sheet screw right here. Awesome, so that went all the way through. As you can see right there, this is a 2 inch length screw right there. Now let's make sure it's actually big enough at 2 inches to go through the mega frame as well. Now we know that since that drill bit worked for that screw that we got, we can go ahead and finish the rest of them. Better be safe than sorry to start with one and then go with the others. Okay, now that we finished all screws, we got one there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2.5 inch ones that we got, we're gonna actually put on this top bracket, the white one. One thing as well too, make sure to get this screw, that hole, and that hole almost as perpendicular to this as possible, because as you can see here, when we drill it in order to go through this hole right there, this is going to be bent a little bit and it's not going to be as even. So just remember that. It's probably the best one. Look at that. Almost perpendicular right here. What I mean by perpendicular, if you don't remember math, that means there's a 90-degree angle right there between the screw and the pipe. Okay, now that we have all of our screws in, let's go ahead and just connect the PVC pipes together. So you might need to double check a little bit to make sure this is aligned perfect with the other side as well too when you mark it. Okay, so what I just did is I marked these circles right here, and remember I'm going to be drilling it through, and I want to get the black color. I don't want to get in the star of this gold or the silver. We want to make sure that it is hidden, these screws. So go ahead and check every one that you did. Make sure that it's all black paint, what's directly underneath it. That one right here, this one, we want to make sure we do not hit that. Congrats. Okay, so that will be... Okay, so now it's time to drill the holes actually in the mega frame itself. So now using all the holes that we just marked on here, we're gonna go ahead and drill through those. And also make sure that you're gonna be drilling right directly through an opening, because as you can see, there's some lines on here, and there's actually like a support beam for these sides in there. So make sure you don't wanna hit that because it'll make it a little uneven. And yeah. All right, so the final product is done. Let's see all the holes and how we did. So there's one right there, we got black paint. There's the other one right, I don't know if you can see it right here. We also only got black paint. These ones right here, black paint, black paint. The other one's black paint, black paint. Okay, so that is perfect. Okay, so what I totally forgot is these screws, we're actually gonna have to take them out, so you can just do them by drilling it out, because we want this black tip head that we actually spray painted to be facing on this side. We don't want the washer to be over here because it's silver and it might look a little gross. We want it to be on the back side. All right, almost done here. So now what we want to do is we want to put these screws actually through the side, and we want the flat tip screw part to actually show the on the outside of the frame. Low key and discreet there, you can't really tell there's a screw there unless you really look at it. All right, so let's take a look at these screws. I mean, if you're looking at from here, can you count out all the screws or see them? Maybe a couple. Well, we got one right there, right there, boom, bing, bam. Okay, that looks good. So now let's go ahead and grab that PVC pipe frame that we made for the back of this. We're gonna flip this over. And if we calculate everything correctly, it should fit right in, or maybe just a little tug and pull here to get it in. With a little adjustment and everything, we're able to hit every single hole on the dot. If you don't hit it on the dot, then what you want to do is don't re-drill a hole in the frame itself. Re-drill a hole in the PVC pipe, okay? So as we can see, we got that. We'll be able to just squeeze in some more room for just a nut. We won't put a washer on this one. This one, nut only. These ones work pretty good, the 2.5 on those. So I would recommend just grabbing 2.5 inch long screws that are by 1/4 in diameter. Got that one in pretty well, that one, and that one. So let's go ahead and put the nuts on. One thing to make sure too is if you lift it up, you want to make sure you flush the screw that's right here as flat to the sign as possible. Go ahead. So what I'm trying to do here is to flush the PVC pipe as close to the back as possible right there. All right, so this is how it fully looks right there. We're gonna go ahead on the back side. See, we got the PVC pipe. It is pretty flat right there. It doesn't slant too much, which is great. We expected that with our measurements. Perfect right there. We got the screws in nice and tight. See how it's a little angled right here and not perpendicular? That is totally fine. It actually worked pretty well because it's a little off-centered right here, so it actually has tension and it doesn't fit in super smoothly, which is actually a good thing because we don't have to screw these in too hard. One thing I probably will do is put super glue or something right around these to make sure they don't get loose and win or just over time. You could try that out. But if you don't like the look with these screws in right here, how they're black, I mean, maybe you could try going over with black tape and like electric tape, which I probably will do. Put electric tape over here because it actually looks like this glossy black. So I might include that in the video as well too. So next what we gotta do is we actually gotta put our stakes now on it to see where exactly we should put it. Okay, so testing out the sign, here's how it looks. It's a little crooked, but one thing I would recommend is make sure that this PVC pipe right here fits as well in this metal stake as possible. For this one, it is very tight, so I have to really push it down. Okay, so with the setup that I showed earlier with sticking the stake within the PVC pipe was not gonna work. So we're here at Home Depot getting a new screws right here. So we get the 1/4 by 20 and then 2 inches long. And then we're actually gonna use these nuts right here. So we're gonna twist them on to the PVC pipe, which we're gonna drill a hole in, stake it to the sign stand, and then we'll have this to move it on and off super easy with these. So we'll wrap it up and head back to the garage. Okay, so we are back in the garage right here. We got those new bolts and these little screw-on nuts right here. So what we're gonna do now is drill 3 separate holes right here. So right over here, as you can see, we got those 3 screw spots right there. That's where these those screws that we just bought at Home Depot are gonna go, and they're just gonna go right through 1, 2, 3. So as we can see here, we got these 3 holes, and we still got another one right here. Depending on what your stake looks like, you could put it in however you want. But as we look right here, I'm gonna do a screw in this one, and this one to spread out the support of it. So I'm just gonna start right here by putting this on, like this right here, and just start marking it with the Sharpie. All right, now that's done, we can now just drill the holes. Okay, so we just drilled all the holes. Now what we're gonna do is take those screws and put them all we want. We just left silver because it kind of matches the stars and the style. We just got the nuts and bolts in the frame right here. We got the 2 separate stakes, whichever size you buy. Just like I talked about, make sure that you screw them in at the right lengths as on the sign here. And right over here I have my assistant, Alex at Sign Dreamers OC, our marketing guy.
Hey guys.
So we just left our nuts and bolts right on here, just like that. Always keep them on there, and then when you're about to set up, you can just unscrew them and put them in your pocket. Now with those screws that you have in your pocket, and just like that, you have the mega frame up. So he stands roughly about 5 feet tall, 10 inches. And so as we can see right here, you could be able to move it down as well too, if you'd like, depending on what kind of holes you got back here, like that. And if you have little kids, they could just put a stool or something down there to stand up. Thanks for watching.